The Seraphim. These are considered the highest and most exalted order of angels in Christian angelology. Their name comes from the Hebrew word seraph, meaning to burn, which is why they are often called the burning ones. This isn't just poetic. These angels are described as beings of pure, radiant fire, consumed by their love and devotion to God. They do not act on earth like guardian angels or messengers. Instead, their sole existence is to praise and serve directly before the throne of God. The seraphim are described as having 6 wings, 2 to cover their faces, 2 to cover their feet, and 2 to fly. This vision paints them as beings of overwhelming holiness and humility. Even they, the mightiest of heaven's hosts, shield their faces in reverence before God. Their eternal chant, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts, the whole earth is full of his glory," fills heaven with divine resonance and acts as a spiritual current that sustains the heavenly order. More than just celestial choirs, seraphim also serve a cleansing role. In Isaiah's vision, one of them takes a live coal from the altar and touches it to his lips, purifying him and preparing him to become a prophet. This moment reveals the seraphim's deeper role to burn away impurity, not with judgment, but with divine love. The cherubim. These are the second highest order of angels in traditional Christian angelology, often misunderstood due to modern portrayals of them as cute baby-like figures. In reality, their original descriptions are far more awe-inspiring and terrifying. In the Bible and ancient Jewish mysticism, cherubim are multi-faced, multi-winged beings who guard the sacred and serve as carriers of divine wisdom and power. According to Ezekiel 1:10, cherubim have 4 faces, of a man, a lion, an ox, and an eagle, each symbolizing intelligence, strength, service, and swiftness. They have 4 wings with hands beneath them, and their entire bodies are covered in eyes, representing their all-seeing awareness. They move in any direction without turning and are often accompanied by wheels of fire known as ophanim. Cherubim are best known for their role as guardians. In Genesis, after Adam and Eve are expelled from Eden, God places cherubim with a flaming sword at the east of the garden to block re-entry. In mystical traditions, they represent the divine intellect, guardians of sacred knowledge and heavenly mysteries. They are neither fully comprehensible nor easily visualized, which is why artists throughout history have depicted them in both majestic and monstrous ways. Rather than innocent and childlike, the true cherubim are cosmic sentinels, serving as both protectors of holiness and keepers of the divine boundary between the mortal and the eternal. The thrones. These are the third order in the celestial hierarchy, following the seraphim and cherubim. They are often described as mysterious and awe-inspiring beings that serve as the bearers of God's divine justice and authority. Unlike other angels, thrones are not portrayed as humanoid figures. Instead, in many mystical and biblical accounts, especially in Ezekiel 1 and Daniel 7, they are associated with wheels of fire, covered in eyes, moving in perfect harmony with the will of God. Their name, thrones, reflects their unique role. They are seen as literal seats or chariots of God's presence. They don't merely serve God, they become the platform upon which divine judgment and glory are revealed. The idea is not of passive furniture, but of living, conscious beings that channel God's justice and execute his rulings throughout the cosmos. They don't interact directly with humans like archangels or guardian angels do. Instead, they dwell in the upper reaches of the spiritual realm, maintaining the architecture of divine law. In Christian mysticism, they are said to transmit God's light from the higher seraphim and cherubim down to the lower orders of angels. Dominions, this is also called dominations, are the fourth order of angels and serve as heaven's administrators. They oversee the duties of lower angels and ensure the divine order flows without disruption. While they don't interact directly with humans, they act as managers of the spiritual realm, channeling God's commands down the angelic hierarchy. They are often depicted with crowns, scepters, or orbs symbolizing authority and control. Calm, noble, and precise, dominions don't rule with force, but with quiet alignment to divine will. Their role is to maintain cosmic balance, acting as the unseen architects of divine order. Virtues. These are the fifth order in the angelic hierarchy and are known as the bearers of divine grace and miracles. Their name comes from the Latin virtus, meaning power or strength. These angels are responsible for channeling God's blessings into the physical world, inspiring faith, courage, and holiness among humans. They are often called the shining ones due to the radiant light they emit, symbolizing divine energy. Virtues guide the natural order like the movement of the stars, the elements, and even miraculous events. They are also believed to empower saints and prophets, helping them perform supernatural acts. Unlike warrior angels or messengers, virtues work more subtly, influencing creation itself with balance, healing, and strength. They rarely appear in visible form, but their presence is felt in moments of deep inspiration, miraculous healing, or acts of spiritual courage. In essence, virtues are the divine power flowing through the universe, quietly lifting humanity toward higher purpose. Powers. These are the sixth order of angels and serve as heaven's warrior guardians. Their primary role is to maintain the balance between good and evil, standing on the front lines of spiritual warfare. Powers are believed to defend the cosmos from demonic forces, restraining the influence of fallen angels and keeping chaos at bay. Unlike the virtues who inspire, powers protect and enforce. They are often depicted in armor, wielding swords or shields, and are said to patrol the boundaries between the physical and spiritual realms. Powers also oversee the distribution of power among humanity, ensuring that divine justice is reflected in leadership and influence. In mystical teachings, they act as cosmic law enforcers, watching over the moral structure of creation. Though rarely seen, their influence is felt during moments of spiritual resistance, when unseen forces are pushing back darkness. Powers represent divine strength, discipline, and righteous authority. Principalities are the seventh order of angels and serve as guardians of nations, cities, and leaders. They oversee large groups of people and help guide the course of history according to divine will. Principalities ensure that human institutions, like governments and religions, align with higher spiritual purposes. They are often depicted wearing royal robes and crowns, symbolizing authority and guidance. While they don't act directly, they influence the minds of rulers and inspire collective action, justice, and wisdom. In essence, principalities are the angelic overseers of civilization, archangels. These are the eighth order in the angelic hierarchy and are the most well known to humanity. They serve as divine messengers and protectors, often appearing during critical moments in spiritual history. Their missions are personal, powerful, and world-shaping, delivering revelations, warnings, or leading battles against evil. Famous archangels include Michael, the warrior and protector; Gabriel, the messenger of divine truth; Raphael, the healer; and Uriel, the angel of wisdom and light. Each archangel carries a unique role, but shares the purpose of guiding and empowering humanity during times of crisis or transformation. Unlike higher choirs who work behind the scenes, archangels are active agents of change, visible, personal, and commanding. The angels are the ninth and lowest order in the celestial hierarchy, but they are the closest to humanity. They serve as personal guardians, guides, and messengers, watching over individuals and delivering divine insight in dreams, intuition, or direct intervention. Unlike higher-ranking angels, they interact with people daily, offering protection, comfort, and encouragement. These are the classic guardian angels, assigned to each soul, helping guide them through life's challenges while whispering reminders of their higher purpose. Though humble in rank, their role is deeply personal and essential to the human spiritual journey. The Watchers, these are also known as the Grigori, are a group of fallen angels mentioned in ancient Jewish texts, most notably the Book of Enoch. Originally, they were sent by God to watch over and guide humanity, but they eventually defied their divine purpose. According to the legend, the Watchers descended to earth and became enamored with human women. They took them as wives, teaching humanity forbidden knowledge, such as sorcery, astrology, weapon making, and their union produced the Nephilim, giants of great strength and corruption who brought chaos to the world. Their rebellion was not out of hatred, but out of desire and disobedience. For this, they were cast down and bound in darkness, awaiting judgment.